Hey there. If you're trying to learn cyber IT, coding, pretty much anything tech related, learning how to spin up a virtual machine or VM can be a fundamental skill. So I wanted to put together a little no fluff demo showing how to install a desktop Linux distro inside of a VM on Windows 11. I'll be using a hypervisor called VirtualBox to run my virtual machine. And as for the version of Linux, I'll be setting up Ubuntu Desktop 25.10, which is the latest release at the time of this video. Alright, let's get started. First thing, a lot of computers actually can't run VMs with their default settings, so we will likely need to modify the BIOS/UEFI settings to enable virtualization. Now, this is going to look different based on your motherboard manufacturer, but I can point you to this article from Microsoft for extra guidance. The setting we need to enable will probably look something like AMD V, SVM mode, Intel VT, or just virtualization technology. I'm on my laptop, and the easiest way to get to the BIOS on Windows is to hold the Shift key down, then restart the computer from the GUI, and keep holding that Shift key down until the blue screen pops up. Then go to Troubleshoot, Advanced Options, UEFI Settings, and Restart. I'm on an HP computer, so your next few screens will probably look different than mine, but it's the same concept. I'll hit F10 to go to BIOS setup. Then I can go over to system configuration, and I need to make sure that virtualization technology is enabled. Again, it might be called something else on your motherboard. But that's all I need to change, so I'll save and exit with F10. And then I should be brought back to the login screen. Okay, next I need to download and install the Windows C++ Redistributable. This is just a dependency to run VirtualBox. Then I'll download and install the VirtualBox hypervisor. And lastly, I'll download the ISO file for Ubuntu 25.10 from Ubuntu's main website. Everything should be ready, so in VirtualBox, I just hit New to make a new VM. I'll give it a name. I'll leave the VM folder as default. For ISO image, I need to choose that ISO that I downloaded earlier for Ubuntu. I won't do an unintended installation because I've ran into issues with this before. Under virtual hardware, I'll just give it 4 gigs of RAM. Then I'll give it 4 virtual CPUs. Under virtual hard disk, your virtual hard drive can be whatever size you want. I'll just leave it 25, but this can fill up pretty fast. And I do like to check this right here, pre-allocate full size. But besides that, I can hit finish. And then just give it a minute while VirtualBox finalizes it. After that's done, I can go ahead and start the VM. I'll go ahead and choose try or install Ubuntu. And this part will probably take a minute for it to load. At this point, I just need to install Ubuntu the same way as if it was on a physical computer. On this part, it does give you a warning that it'll erase the disk and install Ubuntu with the default option, but again, it's a virtual disk, so it doesn't matter. It's not going to actually erase anything on your main computer. At the end, I'll just hit install and let it do its thing. And at the end here, I can just hit restart now to complete the installation process. At this point, I can just log into Ubuntu. And besides minor things like having to change your display resolution or doing your initial updates, you should be good. Well, that's about it for the video. I just wanted to do a quick demo on using VirtualBox and setting up a Linux VM. The process should be just about the same for most other distros as well. There are a few additional steps you could take now, like installing the VirtualBox extension pack or the VirtualBox guest editions. But those aren't needed just to get in there and get Linux running in a VM to play around with it and try to learn a little bit. Either way, hopefully you learned something.